So now we're going to shift to Joel Kearns, who is the Associate Administrator for Exploration in the Exploration Science Strategy and Integration Office. Joel?
Thank you, Deborah, and thank you, Lori. Deborah, can you see me and hear me?
Yes, we can. Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. Well, as both Thomas and Lori said, many of us are working to digest the recently released decadal survey on planetary science and astrobiology. So within the time I have today, I wanted to focus on some more near-term activities to make sure you were aware of. If you could go to the next chart, please. First, I want to say congratulations to Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter for a successful senior review and going into their next extended mission. You know, Lunar Reconnaissance Orbiter (LRO) has been taking data so long, since 2009. Everyone in the communities have just learned to rely on them, and they of course produce some amazing value to NASA, whether it's photo reconnaissance or other measurements that instruments are making. They're used from everyone doing research and analysis work to planning the upcoming crewed Artemis missions to planning the CLIPS missions that are coming up. I just wanted to take a minute to say thank you for the great job you were doing, and we look forward to your continued work coming up. Now, if you go to the next chart, I'm going to take most of the time that I have available just to give you an update on what's going on with commercial lunar payload services and the various instruments and instrument suites that are being prepared to fly to the moon. You can see here an updated view of the 7 landings that have been contracted out by NASA to the CLIPS providers to take a variety of instruments, investigations, and instrument suites to the moon. They're currently being provided by 4 different companies out of our group of 14 companies in our CLIPS indefinite delivery, indefinite quantity pool. If you look at the one, you can tell who's got which deliveries. They're listed here with their announced landing dates coming up from 22 to 25. You'll notice here there are 3 here that don't have the delivery provider named. One of them is for Schrodinger Basin on far side, which will go in 2025. Of course, the instrument suites for that were selected in the PRISM-1 competitive solicitation last summer. And the CLIPS project is right now competing to get the provider who will take the Farside Seismic Suite and the Litmus instruments, as well as the previously selected Lucy instrument down to Schrodinger Basin on the far side. And we should know later this year who that provider will be. If you look at the middle of the center of the moonscape, you'll see the next delivery site is for Gruithuisen domes. You're probably aware that the investigations and the instrument suites for the Gruithuisen domes delivery, as well as the later delivery to the South Pole, will be selected based on the PRISM-2 solicitation results. And the evaluations of those proposals is ongoing, and we're confident that NASA will make an announcement of which investigations and instrument suites those will be later this month. And then after that is announced, we will work with the CLIPS project office to start selecting the actual CLIPS providers that will provide the delivery service down to Gruithuisen zones and the South Pole in 2025. And there is a regular cadence, as you know, once PRISM-2 selectees are announced, we'll then start working on PRISM-3. And of course, once the PRISM-2 selectees are announced, as I said, the CLIPS project office at JSC will work with NASA headquarters to select the providers for the next 2 delivery. Then once we eventually select PRISM-3, we'll select those providers and on every year for the foreseeable future coming up. So the first 2 deliveries to the moon we expect to take place later on this year, as shown in the chart, as Walt Engelin, Thomas Zurbuchen, Kathy Corner, I think all stated, and Lori Glaze. It's going to be a really interesting number of years coming up now on the moon and in cislunar space. And folks will see a lot of things going on relatively soon. Anyway, thank you, Deborah.
Thank you very much, Joel, for that update.